Good morning, everybody. This is live from the barbecue department at Wannemakers, the epicenter of grilling and smoking out here in the western suburbs of Downers Grove, Illinois. I am Steve Crass. I am the grill department manager here at Wannemakers. Well, welcome back, everybody. It's a nice, warm, beautiful day here in the city of Chicago, relatively speaking, for January. This is the last show of January, believe it or not. A whole month of 2024 is almost already done and gone. So it's kind of nice. The weather warming up. Everybody can get out and cook and do stuff like that. So that's great. We have a guest this week, good friend that I met over in at the Do It Best show to begin with, and then we kind of moved on from there. He was on our Thursday night show around Thanksgiving, so it was fun talking Thanksgiving with this guest. But it is Sterling Smith from Booty BBQ, and let's bring him on. Smitty, what's up, my friend?
Hey, how you doing, Steve?
Doing pretty good. A little different from the last time you were on the Thursday night show with Ryan and I, and we did a little talking about Thanksgiving. So now we're getting ready here to head into the summer months, which is up here.
Man.
You're always lucky because you're down there in Arizona, so you got summer almost year round. Of course, your summer's a little warmer.
Well, yeah, we have two seasons, summer and summer two.
So, yeah, right.
Summer two is like summer but elevated. So
yeah.
You know, we're enjoying the weather right now. This is our time of year when it's beautiful outside, sunny. It's supposed to be 81 later today, so you know I'm enjoying it. So I hope when I come to Chicago in March we have something similar. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. So
I know Chicago.
So one of our good friends, Mike Davis, you and I both know Mike Davis. They're getting ready for the MBBQA conference down there in San Antonio. He says, "What's up, Stephen T. Crass, SterlingSmith.com."
Capri Pants. That's my buddy Mike. He's a good dude. We had a good time at BQA conference last year. It's going to be a blast this year. Unfortunately, I can't attend. I have another event here in Arizona this coming weekend, but it's a phenomenal event, and I recommend it to anybody in the barbecue industry. The connections you make, it's a great event, and I hope to be back next year. And I did hear that I submitted my sauces for the sauce, Rub and Sauce Honor Awards, and I did hear that I won something. So it's good to hear my new sauce is getting already some recognition, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they did.
Yeah, we got to get those in there because we got to get those up in here. I know we got the rubs and stuff like that here already. Which we talked about when we were down in Indianapolis when I talked about getting your stuff in, and we got all those in. They're all stocked, ready to go. They're pretty cool looking
and then
rubs.
We saw each other at the Mission 0-100 Hours event in
Yes.
Yorkville, which was a phenomenal event. Sean Young and his crew do a spectacular event for vets, very heavily involved in that kind of stuff. I love working with anything involving vets, being one. So it was great meeting you up there and talking about it, and Fergie was up there as well, so we said, hey, let's do something together. And here we are coming into March in a couple months here, and we're going to teach some of our competition secrets.
Yeah, so we'll get into Smitty's past here in a little bit, but we do want to, since it's the beginning of the show, and that's when most people pay attention before I put them to sleep with my boring talk. But this is what he's talking about. At Wannemakers, one of the big things we like to do is, I like to give you the best selection you can find, and I think we got a pretty good selection of just about all barbecue stuff, not just the wall over here, but a lot of the other stuff, which you don't see. That's always out of camera, and sometimes I'll walk you through it. But we do like to get some local products in as well. And then the other big thing is we like to host classes, and we like to make you feel a little bit more comfortable in front of that grill, in front of that smoker. This class that these guys are going to cook, this is going to be geared more towards the competition cook, but that doesn't mean that if you're a backyard competition cook, or just a regular guy that wants to be out in the backyard, if you want to come and see how the competition guys trim up their stuff, this is the class for you. But this is what it looks like. There he is, a little fancy. I always like to do my Sterling
pose or me pose.
Yeah, the Sterling pose. But I like to try every once as often as I can. I try to bring some world champions up here just so people can get to meet a world champion cook and see what they're all about, and see that they're believe it or not, as I always try to preach on here, you guys are probably the most normal championship folk I've ever met in my whole life.
We're just dudes in our backyard, cooking just like everybody else is. But what I really love about this class is that you get to see two different ways, two different styles. You get to see the way Fergie has been doing it. You get to see what I'm doing as well. So, and what we tell a lot of people in our classes is take some of this information and incorporating in what you're doing. If you want to do exactly what we're doing, that's great. But what's really about is taking little nuggets of information, take tips, techniques, pointers, ways we're doing things to look out for. That's really what we teach. And it is a competition class, but being a backyarder, you're going to learn so much. You're going to go from here to here instantly, because we do answer all questions from beginners to, somebody who's multiple world champions, which we've had several take our class. But this is cool that we're taking this class again. Like I said, you get to see two different styles, two different ways, two different personalities. I tend to tell people it's not only educational and you get to taste our food. We're kind of like a comedy show. We feed off each other, we make a lot of jokes, and it's just a great time. It's great entertainment. It's great fun. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to laugh a lot. And, hopefully at the end, everybody's a better cook, because at the end of the day, that's what we want to do, is just make you a better cook in general.
Yeah. So like I said, if you're a backyard cook and you're interested in upping your game a little bit, I know that when you're doing the backyard, you don't do brisket, but it's always good to see how brisket is done.
I've done brisket a million times in my backyard. I love the backyard.
Well, I know you would. I'm talking about the backyard competition cooks out there. But I can tell you what, the chicken, I know that chicken is one of the meats that they cook in the backyard competition. So if you're looking to elevate your chicken game, you couldn't find two better people to learn from, and that's from you and Smitty, and you and Fergie. And like I said, Smitty and Fergie are pretty fun guys. I did see him at the.
I learned even cooking with Fergie, and I've done this a lot with him. We've taught several classes together. I think this will be our fourth or fifth implementation of this, two meat competition class that we've done. And I learn every time I watch Fergie do something, I learn something, I pick up something. So, it's all about being interactive with the class. We want everybody to learn. Like I said, it's fun. And I've been getting asked a lot about chicken. What chicken are you going to teach? Because I've done thighs, I've done legs, I've done wings. I ran wings pretty much all last year. I ran wings earlier on this year. So I will announce that I am going to show you guys my chicken wing recipe. Ooh. Exactly like I do it, how I got 9th place at the American Royal, turning in just chicken wings. I'm going to show you guys my chicken wing recipe in this class. So this will be the second implementation of that chicken wing. Only the second one. Fergie and I did this in Florida down at Megabyte Barbecue Supply. It was earlier on this year, or mid last year. So I am going to teach you guys my chicken wing recipe, and Fergie's going to have his always phenomenal chicken recipe as well. And if you've ever tasted his brisket, I mean, he can cook a bomb brisket.
Yeah, exactly. And here's our good friend Ryan, who hosted the show with me on Thursday nights. He's on here. What's up, Ryan? Good to see you on here. Thank you very much.
What's up, buddy?
So that's an interesting thing, because a lot of people, going back to the competition, just plain old competition. When you turn in chicken, you don't have to turn in. Everybody always sees chicken thighs, so you don't have to turn in chicken thighs.
You need 6 pieces of chicken. It's got to come from the chicken. Doesn't matter where it comes from. But yeah, traditionally, and when I came up, everybody was just doing thighs. That's it. You see a lot of legs now. A lot of people kind of transition to that, keep it different. And I have noticed, in the last couple of years, I have started to see a lot of wing boxes come into play. Several of them look very familiar. But that's awesome. That's what I love doing, is spreading that information and, giving people ideas and ways to do things. There's not only one, and the KCBS is awesome. I love it. It allows me to go out and express my, cooking and my art and my creativity. But sometimes it kind of limits my creativity. And that's why I kind of started doing a lot of the World Food Championships events, which kind of, it's still barbecue, but it allows you to take that, that heart and soul of what barbecue is and transform it into different dishes. It doesn't always have to be just barbecue sauce. We can flip it into something phenomenal, something, 5-star elegant food. And it's the heart and soul of barbecue. So that's what I love about that. But, what we teach in this class is specifically geared towards KCBS. So we're going to show you exactly what we're turning in for the judges that have made us successful, and, take the information and apply it wherever you want, backyard and comp, and hopefully you go win with it.
Yeah, and I think the last time we had you on the Thursday night show, you had just gotten done with the World Food Competition, and I think you guys took just
Reserve.
a little bit shy of grand champion, but you were grand champion the year before. So if anybody doesn't follow the World Food Competition stuff, kind of take a look at that, because that's kind of a cool different way of some of the dishes people put out, and everything's broken down into a lot bigger categories. I think you were in the barbecue category, but I know there's like burgers and sandwiches, and there's like I said, there's burgers, there's sandwiches, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you see in
vegan
there.
There's noodle, there's chef's choice, there's soup. I mean, pick kind of a genre. And I think it's going to be 13 categories this year. I think there may be a cocktail category, with drink as well. So they're expanding it and they're growing it. It's really cool to be a part of that, because these guys are doing great things. And what was really cool, and I think was one of the pinnacles of my barbecue, career, is last year going to the finals and competing in the finals against the other, 11 finalists in their categories. And we cooked at the Brightwater Culinary Institute in Bentonville, Arkansas, which is just this amazing, classroom setting, cooking setting for us to be involved in, and to be able to cook on the level that some of these, like the guy who won it, Chef John, out of Sydney, Australia, phenomenal seafood chef. This dude's like elite chef, and to watch him do what he does and compete with that was just eye-opening to me, to kind of see, what we're doing in our backyard is great, and we want to. What Fergie and I want to do is kind of bring some of that kind of cooking techniques and styles into competition barbecue, into your backyard, so you guys can see kind of a little insight of what we're seeing. That's what we love doing, is sharing and spreading that information.
Yeah, and so the class is going to run. It's on Saturday, March 23rd, and it's going to go from 10 to 3. So you're going to get some good time. And like I said, you're always free to ask tons of questions. These guys have
absolutely
been around the block a few times. They know a little bit of everything. And then we got, I think Paul Buab from Smoke and Ghost is going to bring up, I think he's bringing up his Jambo. I think that's what he's bringing up. And then we're going to also cook on some drums. What do you cook on? What is your normal competition cooking thing?
So I love cooking on my gateway drums. I have two gateway drums that I usually run. I work a lot with Green Mountain Grills, not only as an ambassador, also as a sales rep covering some of the West Coast. So I've been cooking on a Green Mountain Grill pellet smoker for the last 10 years now. I love the combination of drums and then the pellet smoker as well. When I need that quick flavor, quick smoke, quick, kind of grill barbecue flavor, I have the drums. When I'm ready to bring something up to temp, if I want some light smoke on something, I have the drum there, the Green Mountain Grill available to give me that nice, light, consistent heat, consistent flavor. But just recently, actually, as of yesterday, I love buying grills. I kind of have an obsession with it. And I think that the one I bought yesterday was $39. But there was a Craigslist ad for a backyard Jambo, and I jumped on it, and I'm going to pick it tomorrow. So I just bought a Jambo, so I'm going to be cooking on that now. But that makes grill number 39 for me. So I have everything from Weber's to pellet smokers to now a Jambo, a lot of Green Mountain Grills and Gateway drums. I love the Gateway drum smokers. It's a great product. I love working with Tim and everything that he does. He's a great, promoter of barbecue and a great dude and great family. So I love working with people like that, who are, family owned, family people. I work a lot with Blues Hog, with Green Mountain Grills, great family owned company, small biz. So, I think of myself like that. I'm a small biz myself. So I love supporting brands that, are getting out there and working hard and grinding and making it happen.
Yeah, exactly. And then, just so everybody's not scared, we're going to cook on the drums. We're going to cook on the Jambo and stuff like that. But that doesn't necessarily mean what you and Fergie are going to show in the class, that, you have to cook on these devices to make it work.
No, it's what we teach is science and what's happening in that meat while it's heating up, while it's getting smoke, what's happening inside the meat. A lot of that techniques and the science behind it is what's really important. Seasonings and rubs and sauces and all that are great for flavor, and that can be easily changed in and out. But you kind of want to know why you're layering something, why we're adding, cooking it in a certain way. So a lot of that will break down to you, and it doesn't really matter. But I do cook chicken and brisket on a Gateway drum in barbecue competition, so I'm going to show you exactly how I do it in a comp on the equipment that I use.
Yeah, and then like I was saying, you can always take that to, especially if you're just somebody that's not a competition person, you're coming to this class just because you want to see how these guys do it. That doesn't mean you can't go home to your Weber Smoky Mountain smoker and put
Do
it
the
on
same
there.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're going to implement the same techniques. You're going to kind of understand what's happening inside that grill while that protein is cooking. So like I said, it doesn't matter if it's a Gateway drum, a Jambo, a Weber, which I have a million of them sitting here in my backyard, which I love cooking on. That's my number one thing when I'm here in the backyard is, line up this little Weber and go from there. If I want something easy, I, flip on that Green Mountain grill, have a drink and chill. Let the grill do the work. But what's important, like you said, is actually the science behind what's happening, the techniques, the pointers, and what's really, and I tell this to everybody, is what really makes or breaks you is that 5 minutes that you have this meat on this cutting board, and right before you put it in the box, picking out the best parts, the ways to pick out the best parts, the touch, the feel, the process of putting it in the box and finishing. Finishing is, you can cook it all day long and hold it all day long. But when it gets to that point, you can make or break a cook. So a lot of what we want to talk about is, ways to finish and overcoming adversity. And not every cook's going to go smooth. You're not always going to have a hunky-dory cook. Temperatures rise, fall. There's environmental issues. You may hold a little too long. There's all kind of things that can happen. So we want to talk about not only what we're doing, but ways to adapt and overcome. Ways to, okay, if this is happening, let's think about what we can do to fix it and move on from there. For a lot of what we teach, and to me, what competition barbecue is fixing it. And it's not going to be perfect every time, and you got to know how to fix it and right ways to put it in the box and present to the judges.
Yeah, and if you're interested in joining that class, you can go to wannamakers.com. There's a picture and a link there for you to go there, or we'll see if Ryan can type it in correctly, but you can go to fergalicious.barbecue.com, and that's you can go there as well. But otherwise, you can do the Wannamakers barbecue and smoke supply page, which you're watching this video on, in events. Oh, there it is. In events, it should be there. That's just a great picture. You look all smug. You look all smug, and Fergie looks like he's a little too close to the camera, squinting the eyes. Love it.
Looks like he needs glasses. Right. I look smug. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. But we were actually down in Florida at the Megabyte Barbecue. Chris's warehouse there, and he has a huge American flag, and we were cooking for his party, and it was a good opportunity right there. And you know what? When opportunity strikes, you gotta do it for the gram.
Yeah.
No, the kids say.
And it, like I said, and even in the picture, it kind of shows you a little bit of the flavor of what kind of entertainment you're going to get when you're here. Because, like I said, the two of you look like like you're
two-ring circus.
Two-ring circuits. You're goofing, having a good time.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
What does he say? I was just sharing Smitty's products page, not for the class. Oh, well, that's okay.
Yeah, share it, man.
You can share whatever you want.
Share the barbecue love all you want, baby.
And then Ryan says, "I wish I could make the class, but he has to catch a flight that day. He almost made it.
I get it.
Oh,
I got to catch a flight right after the class, so it's going to be a busy March. The weekend, yeah. Okay, so we're the 23rd. 2 weeks before that, I'll be teaching a class in Iowa at Iowa Barbecue Store. Right after that, I'm catching a flight to Costa Rica. My family's coming out with me. We're going to do a little Costa Rica trip. And then Fergie and I are teaching a competition barbecue class in San Jose, Costa Rica. Then come back, going to Wannamakers for this amazing class, go to Chicagoland. And then right after that, I'm going to Houston for the Do It Best show, which is all about those shows.
Trade show. Yeah, a little trade show, hardware trade
show.
So
get to cook and, meet some of the people who retail my product. And it's really good to get out and let them know who I am and see my personality, especially growing a brand. I have to, be out there doing that. And I love that stuff. I mean, I enjoy it. Every time an opportunity comes up, I say, let's go. I love doing that kind of things and cooking for people. Just come and taste my food, taste it, and let's chat about barbecue. I'll do that all day long.
So we got a Facebook user on here. If you can re-comment, whoever this is, if you can re-comment, I think you should have me on your show. Well, if you comment who you are, I'm more than happy to do that. I know you're probably in the It's All About the Barbecue and More group. For some reason, I can't get that to record some names, and I don't understand.
Yeah, it's just random Facebook.
Oh, that's Diana. Oh, that's Diane. Oh gosh.
Diana, come on, let's go, bring her on.
That's
Click
the
link.
Die Show. That's how the shows all started. Was I was on the Die Show. No, she's a gal, local gal around here, and I was on the Die Show, and I said, "Well, this is kind of fun. I think I could do that." So
have her come out to class.
Yeah, you can come to the class if you want, Die, if you want. Smitty says it's okay just to say
bring
hi.
20 friends.
And then Ryan's bring 20 friends. You got to pay a ticket though. And then Ryan said I sent you a message a while back, Smitty. I don't know whether that's
all right. I'll check it. I gotta go through my inbox. I mean, I'm not good at going. I need somebody. Yeah, I'm not good at going through all that. I try as much as possible to kind of go through my comments, especially on my. I use social media a lot. I guess more for my social page, but I need to be better at going on my business and following up. So I'll go through it, buddy.
Yeah, Di says she loves cooking. She's in. And she loves eating as well. Well, who doesn't like eating?
That's the best part. I think that's
So get on there and buy a ticket, Di, and
she's gonna get fed. We're gonna give her some good food, and you're gonna get to see what actual competition barbecue is all about. You get to taste the flavors, what we're turning into the judges, and that's what's important. What's really cool about the in-person classes is you get to actually taste that food, what we're doing,
I could see Di's on the show. Now, Di, this is a family show, so it's not the Die Show. I'll put this comment on there just this once. Now, you got to control yourself. She says, rubbing meat is awesome. So.
All right. That's the way the show is going to go with that.
Yeah. So we'll try. Remember, this is the family show. Thursday night is where you want to be.
This isn't Wannemaker's late night.
If you want to do it's all about the barbecue network. It's a whole different network, and it's not a family, not family run. So do you have a preference of brisket? I mean, you guys got a preference of what briskets you're thinking of using for the classes,
So absolutely. I'm a competition guy. I'm pretty consistent in what I use most of the time. A lot recently I've been using Marble Ridge. Going back to Blues Hog and Gateway Jump versus Marble Ridge, owned by Tim Shear, his family. Phenomenal Wagyu briskets. I've been working with Corte Meats, J Lo Bello over there and his team. They do it a phenomenal, pretty much the flat, kind of pretty much 90% trimmed out for you, so you don't got a lot of waste. It's really just kind of trim it up and finish it. I love the way they do it. I love the marbling inside of it. I love the flavor that I get from those and the consistency. As competition cooks, I think a lot of what we're looking for is consistency in the product that we use, and our outcomes obviously, but I'm consistent kind of with the product I use because, to me, I'm building that trends and I can follow that. So I really use Marble Ridge recently. I love Snake River Farms. Is a phenomenal product. I've used their gold brisket, their big boys, 22 pounders. That's a great brisket. Really between those two is what I've been using for the last decade plus. And then, on my chicken, now that's a funny story. So I have a local grocery store here. It's Fry's grocery store, and they sell a Heritage Farms brand. And the Heritage Farms brand is kind of like what was the Smithfield of ribs. They had the pre-injected, tender. Smithfield had that product. The chicken that I use is a pre-injected chicken. It's called Heritage Farms, and it's already has a solution of a thickening agent, a keratin, and a phosphate base. So I like that's already been done. And I like that I can get it at my local grocery store at any time. So having that available to me is another way of how I pick meat. I don't want to pick something and cook with it if I can't get it on a regular basis because, I'm not going to have consistency. So I want something, like I said, that I can have on a consistent basis. And that chicken, to me, I don't have to do it like a brine and an injection because it's already had one of those steps done. I just need to kind of pop it at, in the morning, a little injection, give it some love, and then go from there. So I've been working on that brand. And for my pork, I've been working with Prairie Fresh for a long time. And I really enjoy that product. I like the prime line. The all natural line is amazing as well, but I really like that prime ribs, nice intramuscular fat, marbling, consistency on the bones. The money muscles have been pretty consistent for me as well in terms of size and thickness. So, like I said, I have those brands that I use consistently because I believe in them. I trust them. I've been using them for years, and like I said, it's really about that consistency.
We got a Facebook user on here who says, "Good evening," and I know who that is. That is my good friend Adam. I don't know if he was on the Thursday night show or not, but Adam is a military guy. He is stationed over in Germany with the Air Force, so he's coming. He's watching us on the evening. I mentioned last week. He just recently on Martin Luther King Day he cooked his first brisket. And he knocked it out of the park, I thought, from the pictures and everything he did it. So again, congratulations,
awesome.
Adam.
Thank you for your
Keep
service.
Up the cook.
Appreciate you.
Well, you know what, Adam? You know what you got to do is you got to look for the Saluting with Smoke event down there in I think it's in September. They do the Battle of the Branches down there, and
yes, we have
Team Air Force went all the way to the
Army,
World Food
Air
Champs.
Force, Coast Guard, Marines. We have a great time with that event. You know, we have these veterans or active duty who are on teams, and we get to have a little insight and glimpse of what competition barbecue is all about. And so it's really cool guiding them through that process. And you know, as coaches, we're not able to touch anything. So there's a bullpen over there, and I've been put in the bullpen a couple times last year, and others where it's hard. Sometimes it's hard for us, you know, as being involved so much and seeing it to just not get in there and do it. So, you know, it's really interesting, that event on how it's run. And like I said, I mentioned Sean Young and his team. They do a phenomenal job, and it seems like it's growing every year. And I'm happy to be a part of that and represent the Navy team. Go Navy, baby.
Oh, you know what? And that's right. Adam did mention this to me. He won't be here, and he won't be in Germany in September. He leaves in July. He's up for, I guess, whatever the restationing is. Well, there you go, Adam. I mean, you're going to hopefully be stateside. Take a look for that event. And as I was mentioning, Team Air Force not only I think won the Saluting with Smoke Battle of the Branches, but then they went on to the World Food Championship, and they actually won the food championship.
Was it there? Yeah, it is there. Wait. I thought it was Coast Guard.
No, I think it's I thought it was Air Force.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. But Lee Hickle was the Coast Guard coach. Maybe they wrangled him because. Okay. Brad was okay. Yeah. So I know what happened. So Brad Leininger was the Air Force coach, and yeah, they did end up winning. But Lee Hickle coached the Coast Guard team, and he kind of helped them out at World Food Championships. So it was really awesome seeing them go from that event to winning live fire straight at the World Food Championships. That was awesome to see. So, you know, they all banded together, all veterans, all military, and it's really cool to see them work together and accomplish the mission. That's what the military is all about. You know, I think that's barbecue is all about too. You know, I take a lot of that military mindset into competition barbecue. You're going to see a lot of that too. What we talk about, Fergie and I talk about in this class is, you know, not only the teaching, but the mindset you have to have going into these competitions. A lot of it's your mental mindset, you know, how you prepare yourself in your mind to compete. It's a lot like other sports. It's a lot like military of what we do. You know, we're mission oriented. We want to get it right. So having that mindset of before you even step in to your trailer or your 10x10, you got to have your mind right and ready for battle and know you're going to win. So a lot of what we talk about is that kind of stuff too. There's a lot of little facets that go into what we do with competition barbecue.
And then this is Di. She'd like to share the show to her page. You are watching.
I love our side top. I love our side chat with Di over here. It's
yeah, right.
What's Di cooking for lunch?
I don't know. I don't know what she's cooking for lunch. But Di, you're watching in the It's All About the Barbecue and More group. That is a private group that I run, as well as the It's All About the Barbecue page. If you go to Wannemaker's BBQ and Smoke Supply, you will see it. This is where it's actually streaming live. That will make it a public event, and you can share it all over the place. So you can do whatever you wish with it, except make funny pictures on my face and stuff like that. But
without express written consent from LMB Barbecue Enterprises LLC.
Oh, Di says
Major League Baseball.
Di says she's just doing. She's just.
Thanks for your lunch update. Thanks. Yeah,
protein shake today.
We could have a side. We'll have a conversation.
It's always good to have conversation. I wish anybody, if you want to sign on, you can always feel free to make comments and chat and stuff like that.
Let's go.
That's what these were designed for, was for you to actually get to meet some people that are actually in the biz, champions like Smitty and some of the other ones that have been on here, to be able to ask those questions and kind of bring them to Wannamakers, virtually, but at least it brings them to Wannamakers where you can ask them those questions. But the great thing is that Smitty will be here March 23rd in person. So make sure you sign up for that class and get yourself in here and stuff like that. But yeah, you're Navy. You were teaching Team Navy, or did you teach somebody else?
Yeah, I was in Navy from 94 to 2000. And oh yeah, of course, when Sean hit me up about coaching Team Navy, I jumped at it right away. So yeah, I coached Team Navy. Fergie was involved. He coached the Marine Corps team. Let's see, my buddy Chris Webb, Bushmaster Barbecue. He's an Army vet. Of course, he coached the Army team. We mentioned Lee Hickle. He retired from the Coast Guard. He coached the Coast Guard team. And then our buddy Brad Leiniger, his father's an Air Force vet. So he came out and coached the winning team. I'm pretty sure he was in flip-flops the whole time. It was windy and cold, but that's just, when you're the GOAT, you can do that kind of stuff.
So to keep going with the Di keeping us up to date, she's on a weight loss program.
Oh, thanks. I wish
and she'll have chicken and fish for dinner.
Yeah, that's a very wise choice, especially if you're on a weight loss program. Chicken or fish. Throw some Gold Star chicken on them. That'll make them pop a little bit.
Now, I can vouch and in no any way, shape, or form is it anything other than just a voucher. But Di does not need to be on a weight loss program. And then she says, "Thank you for your service." So
thank you, Di. I appreciate that.
So anyway, so is that how you got started in the barbecue? Was being in the Navy, or coming out of the Navy, or was it, like you said, just to kind of keep you in that regiment of what you used to do in the Navy?
Yeah, no, when I got out of the Navy, I moved to Arizona, and I met my current wife, on the beach in San Diego when we were kids, when I was in A school. So I did my time. I got out, moved here. I went to college at Arizona State University. I got a degree in finance, and I worked for many banks here in the Valley, doing commercial lending, real estate financing, loans, lines of credit, equipment financing, all kinds of stuff. Eventually, a bank from Kansas City came to Scottsdale and opened up a private client wealth management and small mid-market banking group. And they recruited me over to head their small business banking program. So they're based out of Kansas City. Every year, this bank has an employee barbecue competition, which then, when I first started, it was on the grounds of the American World Complex, the Kemper Arena. Mm-hmm. So I said, you know what? I like to grill in my backyard. I've always liked to grill, and cook growing up with my mom in the kitchen. It never really went anywhere from that. It was just things that I kind of like to do. And if there was anything that had to do with a grill, I was the guy, cooking the steak or the wings. And to me, before seeing the American Royal, barbecue was that. Besides going to a barbecue restaurant and getting a pulled pork sandwich and a brisket, I did grow up in Georgia, and we've done a couple pigs in the ground, but that's not competition barbecue. That was just barbecue to live. And to me, barbecue was, flipping steaks, burgers in the background. So they said, "Hey, do you guys want to have an Arizona team and come out and participate in this barbecue competition in Kansas City?" I was like, "Yeah, let's go. I like doing that kind of stuff." So I get there and I see RVs and big smokers and people partying, and they said all the meat was provided. So, they made it easy for us, and they brought me a brisket. And this thing was like, to me, was like a cow, like a baby cow. I'm like, what am I going to do with this thing? And I was like, oh man, I was pretty intimidated, but it opened my eyes to what was out there. I was like, oh, this is a thing. People do this. And so that was a couple months before the American Royal of that year. It was 2007. And so they brought the Arizona team to come back and cook for their company party. We did some chicken wings on the smoker there and various things. And I saw the American Royal for the first time. And I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. People are it was tailgating and partying and NASCAR and camping and backyard friends barbecue all at the same time. And I was like, do they have this out west? Is this a thing? So I researched everything barbecue. I found the AZ Barbecue Club. and saw that they did events. And, in 2009, I started competing as Luton Booty BBQ. So for about two years there, I just played around in my backyard and decided to say, hey, I want to compete. And Luton Booty BBQ was formed in 2009, and I've been here since then.
Excellent. Facebook user, I'm assuming it's Di. I don't know because I can't see, but it's who is your favorite celebrity chef or cook?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's going to be my great buddy, Mikey Johnson. I would consider him a celebrity in some kind of way. He's been on all kind of shows. He is not only a great friend of mine. I'm talking about Mike Johnson, Sugar Fire Smokehouse, St. Louis, multiple entities.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He owns not only Sugar Fire, Chicken Out, High Point, and recently a good one, Hot Pizza Cold Beers. He's not only a phenomenal friend, he's helped me a lot. I've learned a lot from him on the chef side, on the cooking side. I've seen him cook dishes that blow my mind. We've cooked together at Memphis in May a couple times. I sous chefed him I think it was 3 years ago when he was the burger world champion in Columbia, South Carolina at World Food Championships. And then he got to sous chef me last year in Bentonville. So we've cooked several times. Like I said, he's a great friend. He's knowledgeable. He's a 4-star Michelin chef. He knows his stuff, and he's a great dude. So it's got to be Mikey Johnson.
Nice. So you did the amateur thing, and then you went on you went professional. You did very well.
Well, I have a question. What's amateur and what's professional? What do we call that? When I started, there was no backyard. It was
that's what I kind of
cooking with grand champions. You got thrown into the lions then.
Yeah, well, let's see. That was, I'd say to me, it was, well, see, I guess back then there wasn't. So I guess you were right into it. But yeah, backyard to me is, I don't want to say amateur because these guys still know a lot more than I consider the guy cooking in the backyard, maybe an amateur. But I guess if the minor leagues, I guess you would call it, would be the backyard guys.
Our backyard, just some have done it more than others,
Yeah, and then
there's an amateur professional. But this is funny. So our first event in 2009, it was an IBCA comp. So it was half chickens, brisket, and actually pork. We had a walk-in chicken and ribs, and we were like, oh my God, we're barbecue gods. Our first comp, we know this. Brisket was terrible. Let's not talk about brisket. It's like a shoe. But we thought, okay, we're badasses. And then 2 months later, there was a comp here in Tempe, Arizona. It was December 2009, and we didn't know anything about KCBS. We didn't know anything about points. There's people chasing points. So teams come out to compete in this from KC. It was like 60 teams. It was huge. I Smell Smoke, Pellet Envy, all these guys who were at a time like chasing big time points. And we just got demolished. Our second comp, we got destroyed. So we kind of got humbled a little bit. We realized that, we can't go out there and think we're something. But the bug was set. We got hooked. And then eventually, like I said, we had a point to where I kind of said, I'm going to do this and make it happen and put love, heart, and soul into it and make it something. And like I said, here we are, 16th season cooking. I have a product that's been on the shelves now for the last 7-8 years with Old World Spices, and continue to grow that brand, get it on shelves everywhere, and continue to teach classes and do what I do. It's just been, it's been amazing and humbling at times. But the more you do, the more love you give something, the more you're going to get out of it.
So let's talk about the products. When I saw Sterling down there at the Do It Best show in Indianapolis at the fall show, I wanted to bring his stuff on here and asked him what his 3 best would be to bring in. So, and this is his recommendations. If you like other ones, you have to come and tell me, because
it's kind of like though picking your favorite child. When you say
right
your favorite 3 children, it's hard to say which are my favorite 3. Yeah. But I was thinking versatility. Everything rub obviously works on everything, but I use it a lot as pork. Chicken rub goes awesome on seafood, turkey, anything poultry, and that Jolly Roger is just on another level. I mean, that's a beef killer. I use it in a lot of other things besides beef. Guacamole. I know people use it in macaroni salad. Use it a lot on potato dishes, anything you want to give that nice exterior crust and bark look. I use it on lamb a lot. I really love that contrast of the color. And that medium rare, like pink look of meat. It's just, you eat with your eyes first. And if it tells you, man, that looks so good, then, you know, a lot of times it's going to be good.
And
But those I would say are my three best.
What do a little bit onto the because obviously I have a bunch of them on here. There's a bunch of different black rubs that are on here. I got a bunch of different ones out there. Uh, the black rubs kind of scare people a little bit. What is the what
They
are
do.
you getting when you do the black rubs versus the other, and what makes yours a little bit different? Obviously, there's a bunch of
Yeah,
them out
let me
there.
tell you about that. So let me tell you the story comment first. So you said, yeah, people are intimidated by it. One of my favorite comments, I think, is on Amazon for that that rub is it was a 5-star comment, so it's great. I love it. But it starts out with, this rub will make your food look disgusting. But then it goes on to say how awesome and how they loved and how balanced and all that kind of is. But, you know, some people, you're right, some people are intimidated by it because of the look. But we actually use, and what I use with my co-packer, and we worked a long time. That was my longest rub in formulation to come out with, because we needed to balance it right. And we actually found that using kiln-dried coconut shells for a blackening agent instead of activated charcoal, or activated charcoal derived from kiln-dried coconut shells, gave us a smoother product. It gave us balance, and it gave us still that look that we were looking for. And then I wanted to have my Southwestern flavors that you'll see in a lot of my products, a little back in heat, chili peppers. I wanted to have that jalapeno powder, some of that garlic in there to just give it some beefy notes, beefy flavor. That particular seasoning, I used tri-tip as my base protein when I was formulating it over and over. I mixed in some brisket here and there, but I really wanted that to be kind of like almost a tri-tip rub, but it came to be more than that. So those notes that you're going to see are really beef oriented, but they do balance and pair with a lot of other proteins. I know a lot of people using chicken wings. I've seen some black chicken wings that look awesome. I've seen pork shoulder have a beautiful black bark with this and have that nice little pop that you're giving it. So I've seen it used on a lot of things, but I think what really makes it stand out is having that kiln-dried coconut shell with that balance of the salt, pepper, the garlic, the jalapeno powder.
So, and that's the other thing, and that's the one thing I do get when people are looking at yours and they're looking at the other one. How hot is the jalapeno in there? I mean,
So
is
it's really
it gonna?
balanced. Yeah, I didn't want it to blow anybody out. And if you actually taste a lot of my products, you'll see there's really balance. There may be some back end heat, but it's not a lot that's going to blow you out. I don't really have like a hot rub per se. I think they're all pretty balanced in the way they're at. So that jalapeno is just like a flavor note more than a heat note. And that really works with that garlic. You know, you have that jalapeno flavor, but it's not going to blow you away. It's not going to be like, oh, this is really hot. You're going to notice the flavor without the heat. I think my Gold Star chicken actually has more back end heat than all the other products. That's got a little back end pepper, like a little peppery back end heat.
And then you jumped into the pool full fledged because you decided to come out with sauces as well. As everybody knows, it is, you know, the rub and sauce industry is probably one of the most crowded industries in the whole world. So taking a plunge into the sauce industry, but so you have some unique flavors though. You're not just a regular barbecue sauce.
Right. And I've actually had these line of sauces for the last, I think I've had it for the last 4 or 5 years now. I had a co-packer here in Phoenix I was working with. So I was pretty much doing small local distribution and website distribution. Now with my co-packer merging with a wet co-packer who can do sauces as well, I've been working with them for the last year or so to take my products and almost have that same flavor prof, but better. You know, anything I want to do, I want to make it better. So I worked with Old World Spices on bringing my 3 sauces that I've had, you know, for the last 5 years in-house to Old World, so they can not only manufacture a better product, a more consistent product, they can also distribute that product for me. So that's a big part of my partnership with Old World Spices is the distribution capabilities. So they are basically my old sauces that have been redone better. If it gave me a chance to, because there were certain things that I think people may pick out when they have a product and they say yes, and then it comes out in mass production. They may say, oh, I wish it was maybe just a tiny bit more of this. Mm-hmm. That opportunity of switching co-packers gave me that opportunity to make it a tiny bit more whatever I wanted, you know. So I think the product's amazing. They're available for distribution right now through All World Spices to anybody. And then I do sell retail on my website, BootyBBQ.com.
And then what flavors do you got in the sauces? Because I am gonna look at those, and I don't carry them as of right now, so don't come into the store right now looking for. Sterling kind of knows it's you have to order when you can meet an order, and obviously this being the slowest part of the season for most retailers,
Yeah.
I have to wait till I get enough money to order not enough money from the store in general, but the order always have to be a certain dollar amount. So I have to wait till I get to a certain dollar amount to. So if you want to
Break
see the
out that
Luton
credit
Booty
card.
sauces, yeah, if you want to see the sauces here sooner, then get in here. I'll point out which ones I order from Old World Spice, and you can buy a whole bunch of stuff so that allows me to meet that minimum order, and then I can get these sauces in here sooner. So you're welcome to
I
do
got
that.
kids too, both in high school. They're gonna be going to college soon. You can support a veteran-owned company. Come on, what do I got to do here? But okay, so let's go back to the sauces. I got 3 of them out. I did have what's called the original competition barbecue sauce. It's now called apple cherry barbecue sauce. It's got hints of that app, which I had before in my sauces. I think I wanted to work on the consistency of the product, the viscosity and how it laid on the meat and the color. So I worked on a lot of that with Old World Spices and Head Country to get it kind of the consistency and like I said, the viscosity I was looking for. So the apple cherry is my original comp sauce. I did have a Southwest Sweet Heat. Now it's called Cherry Chipotle, pretty much based off that same tomato base. We got the vinegar in there, and then we got some of the fruity and the cayenne, a little back end dried chili, some heat with that one. And then I had an Arizona Gold. It's now called Honey Gold. It's kind of the same concept of a honey mustard sauce. This one is so smooth. I love this honey mustard sauce. I think out of the 3, it may be the sleeper in there. It's so good on chicken. I mix it in brisket wrap a little bit. I use it on, a little bit in my brisket finishing sauce. But it gives you some nice little sweet, tangy notes. So I love that one. And I kind of wanted to do, working with my co-packer, I want to do flavor shout outs. It's hard to taste what an original competition barbecue, what's in your head when you see that? Oh, it works. But when you say apple cherry, it says, okay, it's going to taste something like this. So I wanted to, that gave me an opportunity to change kind of the flavor call outs to kind of, a lot of what we do is not just put out a product. We want that labeling to mean something, to stand for something, to call to somebody's attention, to say, hey, look at me. There's a lot that goes into, I guess, the science of consumers and the way you're going to brand yourself and market yourself. So I wanted to change some of that wording to kind of let you know what you're going to have in the product.
Yeah, Head Countries, that's like one of the OGs of flavor right there. They've been around for a long time.
Yes, and be able to work with somebody who has that capability to produce a consistent product. Like I said, I mean, even competition barbecue, me personally on the business side, consistency is what I need as well. So having that consistency to have that product, and I wasn't getting that out of my current co-packer. So it's phenomenal to work with somebody who has that, like you said, long time in the industry, somebody who knows flavors, somebody who can give me what I'm looking for, and then be able to distribute, worldwide to all my retail partners.
So as far as we know what your class schedule is going to be for March, which is busy, but what competitions you got coming up? As far as are you doing Memphis in May? You think you're gonna throw your hat into there? Or?
Let's talk about chatter. So let's talk about this. So this weekend I have an event in Yuma. I love doing some in-states. It's a demo, and I'm going to be doing some product demonstration. 2 weeks after that, I'll be back in Yuma for the Downtown Yuma Barbecue Festival, KCBS competition. This will be our 3rd year doing that one. I GC'd it 2 years ago. Bushmaster Chris came last year and cleaned house, so this will be our 3rd year. In I think it's 2 weeks from now doing that comp. Then we get into March, like I said, mentioned that. April, I have a comp in California. I'll be going out for in April, and then I have a lot of demos and shows. I'll be working with Old World Spices, going for some of our retail partners. Just this year, we've picked up a Home Depot, which was a good win for us to get on 91 shelves, and we're looking to expand that into more shelves. But I'll be doing some cooking for entities like that and more classes. I really love doing classes. To me, I would do a class over a competition any day. It allows me to talk about what I do and how to give knowledge and just make people better cook. And hopefully I philosophize about something that make you a better person too. But that's just what we do in classes. We embrace and we love and we share. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that this year. I'll be working on a couple more products with Old World Spices. So that's coming right now. That's double super secret stuff I'm working on with them. And let's see, man, Memphis in May. So I mentioned my good friend, a celebrity chef that I look up to, Mikey from Sugar Fire Smokehouse. We're actually going to be talking this week about Memphis in May. And you do know there's a Memphis in May, and there's another event that was held on Tom Lee Park, which is kind of in competition with Memphis in May the same weekend, called Smoke Slam. And I'm West Coast, so I kind of try to stay out of a lot of that drama, but there's other things going on that so me and you need to talk about what we're gonna do. We'll obviously be doing something in May. We're gonna be cooking in May. We'll be in Memphis in May.
We'll be in Memphis. You'll
be there.
You'll be in Memphis.
So I'm not sure
yet.
We need to figure out what's right for us, and what we want to do and what we chose to do. And we'll be doing that. We have Costa Rica. First trip to Costa Rica. I mentioned Costa Rica. Me and Ferg going out there teaching a class. That'll be cool. New country to teach in and cook in. I love that. And this, as it comes up, I'll be doing some of the standard events that I've done, throughout the year. The Raider Red event at Texas Tech. I love doing that annually with those guys. Royal, it'll be my 10th year now. I mean, what's really cool, that's probably my favorite event of the year, but my first American Royal was in 2014. So a quick little story, I got to go there in 2007 on the grounds of the American Royal and open my eyes to see what competition barbecue is. I had no idea what a brisket is. And then 7 years later, I win my first GC in 2013. So I qualified to compete in the Invitational. 2014, I go and compete on the same grounds. It's the last year it was held at the what they call it, the West Bottoms in Kansas City. So I actually get to go there 7 years later. I take reserve grand champion in the Open, first place in chicken, walking several meets. It was just eye-opening and phenomenal to come full circle and to get my feet dirty. They call it getting your feet dirty, walking at the old American Royal. And then now going in this year, since COVID didn't happen, this will be my 10th year in the American Royal representing Arizona. And to be able to take reserve grand champion twice in the biggest comp in the year in the last 10 years I've been doing it I think that's pretty good accomplishment and shows what love and dedication and just mindset can do for anybody.
Yeah, I agree. So last question for you. On the Thursday night show, obviously was around Thanksgiving. We all know Mama cooks Thanksgiving.
Yes, she does.
The question for you is that we did talk about the Fat Boy dreams of pecan pie with ice cream on top, and I was just curious if that Fat Boy dream materialized for you.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm at this point in my life where I make dreams happen. So absolutely that materialized. A big old pie, and then you get the ice cream, you mix it all together, and it's like magic. It's the magic in a bowl. That's what I dream of. But absolutely that happened. And it happened on more than one occasion. I'm kind of working my winter weight off here, but yes, it did happen. Thank you for now I'm dreaming of it and thinking of it again. So I may have
thinking
to
of it again.
Pie and some vanilla ice cream. Thank you.
Every time I go shopping for ice cream, it's just like, oh man, I'm thinking of that. I need a pie to go with it. But you know what? If it isn't just like a good,
good, it's the best.
If it's just not a good fresh pie. Well, I do like the Ben and Jerry's ice cream, but if it's just not a good fresh baked pecan pie, I know you can buy the ones that are frozen and all this other stuff, but if it's not like a,
right out of the oven.
I don't want to say I become like a snob with some things, but there's just some things that it's just not as good unless it's that way. So
you're 100% right, and I don't think it's being a snob. I think it's a little phrase called "Why cheat yourself when you can treat yourself." Do it right. If you're gonna eat, do it well, do it right, do it the right way. Warm that pie up, do it good. We're all gonna die at some point. We might as well have fun living and doing what we want in that meantime.
So I'm assuming still we still got Di on here. Don't want to sound stupid, but are there salt free? I need to watch my salt intake. Unfortunately, I don't think you at this point have a salt free.
I do not. Salt's the best thing, one of the best things on earth. It makes everything better. I do not have a salt-free solution, but there are others. I mean, you can take a little sieve, and if you want to strain out all the little pieces, you're more than welcome to. But and it'll be salt-free. At this time, I do not have a salt-free seasoning. But like I said, I got 2 things in the works that are super double secret. Maybe there might be something coming.
Yeah. Or you just don't put as much of the rub on there. You don't have
to use a little. Exactly.
You don't have to get as crazy.
My kids will go to trade school instead of state college. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Sterling, always good to talk to you. Before you go, one last push for the class, and then we'll let you get back to your day and sunshine and 81-degree temps and
beautiful
and pools and all that other good stuff. But one last push for the class. Yeah, one last push for the class.
Yes, absolutely. If you guys are even thinking about not even competition barbecue, you just want to learn more about cooking in general, we are going to focus on brisket and chicken, what we do in the competition barbecue, but we are open to every single question, and we're going to answer it honestly. It could be about the other 2 meats too. I mean, we're going to tell you, you just got to do it. We love seeing new faces. We love seeing new places. So if you guys are even thinking, come and have a good time. It's going to be a blast. Like I said, it's not just education. You're going to learn a lot after this if you are a competition guy, but we like to have fun. We entertain, and we like to have everybody entertained as well. So it's going to be a great time. And, look forward to seeing everybody, and hopefully it'll be 81 degrees in March in Chicago. I'm crossing my.
I doubt that. Di does say, oops.
Keep crossing.
Yeah, keep crossing, buddy. Though you never know, weirder things have happened. Di said, great show. Glad she watched. Thanks for watching, Di.
Thanks Di. Appreciate it. Enjoy that shake.
Thanks for everybody who signed on. Sterling, as always, thank you very much for coming on. Have a great rest of your day. Don't work too hard. Enjoy that Mai Tai.
Thanks, guys. Cheers. Always great seeing you.
See ya. All right, everybody. Sterling Smith from Booty BBQ. We do have his rubs on the shelf right here. Boop, there they are. So you can get those. We'll get the sauces as soon as I get enough money to meet the minimum to get the order in. So we'll do that as soon as we can. We did have our own classes this weekend from Sean. I'm going to disappear for a little bit. Sean from Risky Brisket. He was on. He did his brisket class. If I can find I never have that one ready to go. I have all the other ones, but I never have that one ready to go. So we did do his brisket class this weekend. It was an awesome class. We had a full sellout, 30 people here. We did a great job with that. The food was, as always, spot on. That Wagyu brisket, man, is just like, ooh. And I hate to tell you, Dave, who does a lot of the actually minds the pits out there while Sean's teaching the classes. Even the CAB brisket that he did was damn good. Everybody had a great time. We even had one person comment, which is an awesome comment that you like to see. He was actually learned more than he anticipated that he was going to learn in the class, which is fantastic. And that's just to let you know that when you come here and you spend the money, you're not just coming here to eat. And it's just that you are going to get tons of knowledge in these classes if you're a barbecue person and you're interested in doing all that kind of cooking and trimming. But we do have the other ones come up. We do have the pork and ribs that is still coming up. That's in February 24th. We do have the Grill Master, which is going to be there on March 16th. That's the week before Sterling and Smitty get here. We will have that class. So come in here and sign up for those. Those are all probably about 70% full. So if you're thinking of doing it, please get to it faster than that. Good friend, some BPOS Seasonings is on. Thank you very much for signing on. He's got a great product. I do have the bottle here. Hold on one second. Since he's on here, let's do a little promotion for him a little bit. I do have his bottle here of the rub. It's a sweet mesquite pecan rub, or SMP. There it is, BPOS barbecue rub. It's a good rub. I tried it. It's actually really good. So if you guys are looking for it, if a BPOS, if you want to put your website up there really quick, so where people if they want to order, because I don't have it in stock yet. Obviously, it's a slow season, so sometimes it takes a while for things to get to the shelf. I have it there. Sometimes I'm not going to lie to you. I'm slow. Sometimes things just take a while. But it's a good rub. It's got good flavors to it. I liked it. So if you guys are looking for it, like I said, if you want to pop up your website where they can order it, that would be great. And then they can order it from direct from you if they want to, until I can get it here on the shelves at Wannamakers. But that's a great rub, and it's great people. So it's it would just be bposseasonings.com. Is that what I would think? bposseasonings.com. So it's out there. So make sure you get there and do that. Just give him some love and support, because I get a lot of them. I get a lot of rubs and stuff from people that want to do it, and I feel bad because not everybody makes it onto the wall, and I feel bad because a lot of the stuff is really good. I just don't have a lot of space, so it takes a while for things to trickle and older ones to fall out and new ones to fall in. But one of the new ones that I did mention to you a couple weeks ago when it came in, and he was on a guest a couple weeks ago, was Wes from Big Wicks. I love this stuff. I love this. I think the people in the class were sick of hearing me talk about there he goes. He's got it right here. For a BPOS, hit them up on their Facebook page. They do have a Facebook page. You can comment, message, and stuff like that on there, and then you can follow them a little bit. But give their rub a try. Yeah, order one in. But I can tell you right now, this was amazing. I tried it. When you have it right out of the bottle, you're gonna get a little bit of a heat. The neat thing is that when we put it on chicken, it kind of loses a little bit of the heat. It's still there, but it's not as strong as if it's right there out of the bottle. And I hate to tell you, I put it on. Sean made some ribs. We did some Memphis style ribs in the class, and I put it on the rib, and it was absolutely incredible. With the Super Bowl coming up in the next couple weeks, I could see this as a dipping sauce for wings, or even just glazed wings with this. I could see even glazing your ribs with that. Kind of a different, sweeter flavor to it. But so do that. Get a little BPOS for the Super Bowl. Get some wicks in here. Stop in and do that. So that's it. So make sure you get over there and sign up for those classes if you're interested in it. Pork and ribs, that's the next one, February 24th. This is a great class too. I love Sean's wings. Risky Brisket was, I think, last year or the year before, they were 14th in the world in KCBS in ribs. His ribs are absolutely amazing. They're delicious. And he's going to teach you how to trim those all up and do all that and season it. And then you will be surprised at how many pieces there are to a pork butt. Everybody always does it. They get it into pulled pork, they shred it all up, but there are tons of there's money muscles, there's tubes, there's horns, there's white meat, there's dark meat. There's so many different parts of a pork shoulder that you don't realize are in there, and each one has its own distinct flavor, and Sean pulls those all out so you can taste each one separately. So sign up for that pork and rib class. It is a great class. And with that, we're a little bit over the hour, but with that, I think we are all set for the day. I don't think I have anything else. Nothing new truly has come in. Next week, I do have a guest. It is slipping my mind at the moment because I forgot to check. I ran off a whole bunch of them, which was kind of great because I scheduled a whole bunch of different different guests for the next couple weeks, and I got to actually look. But as you know, you can always go to Wannemaker BBQ and Smoke Supply, and it'll actually be listed on there what next week's show is. But I will be here. There will be a guest, and we will talk barbecue and have a good time. So, as always, please be kind and courteous to everybody in the retail service industry. We are doing our best to help you and make sure your shopping experience or dining experience is as wonderful and joyful as possible. And remember, you're not the only one shopping. So please be kind and courteous. As things start warming up, things are going to start getting busier, and things just, you may have to be a little bit patient, and that's all we ask for. So get into Wannamakers, get over here, shop small, shop local, get in here, shop the wall, shop the rest of the stuff that you don't see, and get in here and do your best to do that. And as always, our diversity is what makes us great. Our differences is what makes us great. Because after all, who would want to live in a society where we all thought and did exactly the same thing? And with that, I leave you. Have a great week. See you next Tuesday. And Thursday night, I will be on Thursday Night Barbecue Chat with Ryan. So you can head on over to the It's All About the Barbecue page, and you can follow on that as well. And that'll get you and that'll get you that show. And if you want to, and if you want both shows, but you don't want to deal with the social media aspect of Facebook, you can follow It's All About the Barbecue on YouTube, and that'll give you both live from the barbecue department at Wannamakers, and it'll also give you Thursday night barbecue chat. So with that, I am out. Have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you guys all next week. Bye-bye.